Tomorrow is the one day this year you can fish for red snapper off of our coast recreationally. The South Atlantic season is so short because the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, says that there's still an overfishing problem and red snapper populations are currently under rebuilding plans. Many local fishermen disagree and say there's an abundance of red snapper in the Atlantic waters. News4JAX reporter Tiffany Salome spoke with a local congressman co-sponsoring a bill to prevent NOAA from implementing what he calls unnecessary closures in the South Atlantic.
There's a bite. Yeah, there's a fish.
Charlie Secchini spends most of his days doing this.
And that's a whiting. That's the target fish out on the beach in Jacksonville.
Don't let this little fish fool you. He's an experienced fisherman with some impressive catches to show for.
Fishing is my passion. Since 1996, I've been going fishing just about every single week that the weather permits. In 2009, we had a perfect fishery. We had a perfect balance between the sharks, the grouper, the snapper, the black sea bass. We had a fantastic fishery. And then in 2010, they closed it.
He's talking about red snapper fishing. A federal ban on fishing one of the most popular saltwater fish went into effect from Florida to the Carolinas in 2010 because of overfishing. Charlie believes that's not the case anymore.
Everybody who fishes on the east coast of Florida knows what's out there. You know, we spend 2/3 of the day of getting away from red snapper so we can catch fish we can keep.
Because Atlantic red snapper season is limited to just one day this year, docks like this one are going to be packed on Friday. The limit is one red snapper per person.
We're going to get one day to fish for red snapper. And not only is this ridiculous, but it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary because we've got studies that show that they're wrong on their figures and the red snapper population is doing fine.
Local Congressman Buddy Carter is co-sponsoring the Red Snapper Act. The bill looks to stop NOAA closures on recreational red snapper fishing.
I understand that you signed this letter directed towards NOAA. What are you asking them to do?
I'm asking them to extend the season, and I'm asking them to revisit this rule, asking them to look and to see the information that is available from other sources that we feel like they're not paying attention to and that they're ignoring. This is important. Not only do people's livelihoods depend on it, but for a lot of us who love to fish, that's why we live on the coast.
Reporting in Jacksonville Beach, Tiffany Salome, Channel 4, the local station.
And in a bulletin, NOAA said that they were implementing temporary regulations for the 2024 Atlantic red snapper season because too many red snapper are being caught and discarded dead. In the last 2 years, anglers had 2 days to fish for red snapper. In 2018, anglers had 6 days. If you plan on hitting the water tomorrow, remember you'll need a valid Florida saltwater fishing license and a state reef fish angler designation in order to legally harvest red snapper.
Once you get all that, how are the conditions looking?
Or you can go out with somebody that's in a charter boat.
Or you can
and they have all that, and then you're just on for the ride, and hopefully you come home with some of those redfish. The conditions don't look like they're going to be all that bad. The only hitch in the giddy-up is that low-pressure area that's trying to turn tropical, but it runs into the Carolinas. So that'll be offshore and a few spotty showers, but I've got the beach and boating forecast, and we'll dive in a little bit deeper, show you some of the waves and what you'll be planning for, unless you're more susceptible, I should say, to